Hello there, this is eastern57, and this was my entry for the Flashgun Challenge. It's called Icon. If you don't know, the Flashgun Challenge was a little contest that we had over at FX-Sabers, and it just wrapped up. Pretty much it was just who's got a flashgun and who wants to play along with making the coolest lightsaber out of a flashgun. There were a couple of rules, like it has to be a custom, it has to work, in other words it has to light up, but it doesn't necessarily have to have sound. We just finished voting. I came in second place, which was a respectable finish, if I do say so myself. We did a post-mortem live show over on Space Windows channel, and basically it's just a bunch of lightsaber makers coming together and talking about each other's hilts and entries and stuff, and it was a lot of fun. I'll put a link in the description. Yeah, I don't really get a whole lot of opportunities to sit down and actually talk about lightsabers, like in real life. It was really fun. Anyway. So yeah, it's an MPP2 platform that is a replica. One of the rules was it doesn't necessarily have to be a genuine replica, or a genuine flash gun. It can be a replica, it can be parts, it can even be completely fabricated to resemble certain parts. And yeah, so what was I going for here? I didn't really do too much in the sense of like modifying the main body of it. This ended up being pretty cool. This is a Roman's Empire head for an Obi-Wan, obviously, but it's got a 1-inch opening. It uses a 7/8" blade, but it's got a 1-inch opening, and then this piece right here is actually part of the blade socket opening for the MPP2 kit, which is part of the original MPP. This is a Luke Return of the Jedi V2 neck ring. Everything else is basically the MPP2 platform, except for the clamp here. It's not really a clamp, it's just a scrap tube that I powder coated black, put some extra greebles on it and stuff just to give it a little bit more visual interest. I think I said in my Ghostbusters proton pack description that red circles generally equals cool, and there's 3 of them here, so hopefully that means there's 3 cools on here. It's got a 3D printed chassis. It was the one that TCSS used to sell specifically for the MPP2. I didn't really do much. It, in and of itself, it's just function, and it works beautifully as just a functional piece. So I didn't really jazz it up too much with like crystals or anything like that. You'll see the crystal in a second, but again, that's not necessarily an integrated thing. It's just sort of an add-on. With the wiring and stuff, I made a couple of bus bars on either side just because like there's a couple of LEDs that need grounding points, and that right there is just a cluster of resistors so that you can step down the voltage for the 1, 2, 3, 4 accent LEDs. There's one here too, but you can't see it. The shading was a little too dark and it ended up drowning it out pretty much entirely. The dirty, the gross and stuff like that, it's supposed to be part of the mythos of this particular hilt in that, you know, it's old, it's been sitting around for a while, it's been neglected. The grips are just aluminum tube, the same diameter as the clamp here, but I just cut it up and filed the living daylights out of it so that it looks like it's been deteriorated and, you know, rotting away or chewed up or something like that. Power button right here. Again, I didn't want to have to take it off and put it back on every single time I wanted to play with it, so I just put a power button right here.
Jedi Knight 2 Outcast.
It's got a Nano Biscotti version 4, Jedi Knight 2 Outcast by Dave. The accent LEDs, they're just 3mm. This is an auto flashing one, so that's basically the way it's programmed, so power on, it's flashing and it doesn't stop. The LED mount right here, it's originally there's this thing that went on the inside just sort of to give it the a little bit more of the classic MPP look. There were, you know, metal inserts and stuff like that that made it look like these were pin sockets and stuff, and these were originally threaded that I just drilled through and sort of glued them. I actually cut it off of this thing right here and left it there. The box here is the original box, is just turned around. Blade plug is a Graflex glass eye. All the blade plug is in addition to the glass eye, is just some extra tube, and then a crystal with some copper bars here. I'll turn it off real quick so it's not super bright. Stay. It's just a crystal that's in these copper bars right there, so that it kind of looks like something when you look inside the windows. It's made out of some of that 1 centimeter square ruler that I've had forever. So it feeds light. It's acrylic, so it feeds light through the crystal up the shaft here and out the front. It's basically positioned so that the crystal goes right where the window is. By the way, the LED optics module is pretty much like right here. The MPP2 platform is unique in the sense that it keeps everything contained to like the lower half, or the lower 5/8. So while it's not a actual integrated crystal, it's still very clearly a crystal, which is cool. It's inside, and it changes colors with the different fonts.
Nightfall.
I think it's a pretty cool effect. The last font is Nova Star. I think this is probably the definitive lightsaber font that I have. Just because it's characteristic, very iconic. So this, the blade, it goes all the way down to here, so unfortunately it shortens the blade by, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches. When you look in there, you can actually see, well, I can't really see in the camera, but well, maybe a little bit. You can actually see that there's space on the sides, so it kind of gives the impression that there's some energy beam going up the center. I mean, if you want to think about in that terms, but it doesn't drown out the accent LEDs, which I was kind of afraid that it would do, because in the past I've done like an Anakin Attack of the Clones where the light coming through the back of the LEDs will completely just wash it out. So one of the things that I had to do was literally just paint the back of it so that it's perfectly opaque, and that none of the light from the blade actually will shine through.
Jedi Knight 2, Outcast.
So even though you got the bright blade behind it, you can see that when the light is off, it doesn't actually shine through. And so, stay. These sabers these days, they never listen to anything you tell them. It's like they got a mind of their own or something like that, but I don't know. That's how we empower them. Oh well. Alright, so that is Icon. I'll see you later. Totally just went blank. Train of thought gone. I keep saying MPP2. I don't know. It just seems, it sounds weird in my head. I keep saying it over and over again. Stay. Nope. Stay. Okay. And you know what? I'm kind of hungry. I'm gonna make some tacos, and I'll come back to talk about more later.